Guardians of the Galaxy, Vol. 3 takes the Marvel Cinematic Universe to new heights with its mesmerizing and adrenaline-fueled action sequences. Directed by James Gunn, the film once again propels the audience into the cosmic adventures of our beloved misfit heroes, Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, and Groot. What sets this installment apart are its meticulously crafted action scenes that combine visually stunning spectacle with the trademark humor that defines the Guardians. The movie kicks off with a gravity-defying space chase that sets the tone for the entire film. As the Guardians navigate through dazzling cosmic landscapes, the seamless integration of CGI and practical effects elevates the cinematic experience. The film masterfully blends high-stakes combat with the series' signature soundtrack, creating a unique and immersive atmosphere. One standout action sequence unfolds during an intergalactic heist where the Guardians face off against a formidable cosmic foe. The choreography and special effects in this scene are a testament to Gunn's directorial prowess, offering a perfect balance of intensity and humor. As each Guardian unleashes their unique powers, the synergy among the team is on full display, captivating audiences with a dynamic display of heroism. Moreover, the film explores the emotional depth of its characters during action-packed moments, adding a layer of complexity to the narrative. Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 3 not only delivers on the grandiose scale expected from a Marvel film, but also infuses heart and character development into its action, making it a standout in the ever-expanding MCU. Some mad scientist Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 3 is the story of how, when Rocket, voiced by Bradley Cooper, gets seriously injured, the rest of the Guardians move heaven and earth to infiltrate a giant corporation and get him his health care. As a proprietary creation of the High Evolutionary, Chakotay Iwuji, Rocket's biology is a heavily protected trade secret, and as his friends fight to save his life, the film flashes back to Rocket's origin story. Rocket was once an adorable little animal who was violently experimented on, transforming him into a biped with a highly developed brain. In addition to the suffering he endures, we also meet his various animal friends, a group of extremely innocent creatures with flimsy cybernetic appliances that look like uncomfortable to live with. Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 3 spends a lot of time making the audience feel emotionally connected to these characters before bad things happen to them, in a scene that will tug at your heartstrings and probably traumatize younger kids in the audience. We know the High Evolutionary has performed these abominable, torturous experiments on every single anthropomorphic animal in the movie. They are the moral spine of the motion picture, a line that the movie ultimately decides cannot be crossed. Saving the day means saving all of the animals the High Evolutionary has been experimenting on, except for the ones the Guardians mass murder in a climactic, extended, one-take action sequence, which plays like the film's most badass moment, even though it's one of the saddest. Shot through the heart, and who's to blame? There are 3 cogent defenses for this scene. The team is finally back together and we want to see them in action. Badass action sequences are badass. These particular victims of the High Evolutionary were a threat to the Guardians' well-being at that moment. The first 2 points are inarguable. It makes dramatic sense to see the team in action together at this point in the film, and badass action sequences are, indeed, badass. Although you could justify the Guardians massacring the High Evolutionary's experiments as self-defense, it's important to remember that these movies are not documentaries, and every creative decision is merely that, a creative decision with dramatic consequences that elicit a response from the audience. SEO after spending almost an entire movie revealing Rocket's traumatic origins, the tragic end to the friends he was imprisoned with, and the relatability of the half-human/half-animal creatures the High Evolutionary abused, using those same creatures as cannon fodder for an allegedly heroic moment, is an example of extreme cognitive dissonance. Especially when, right afterward, Rocket successfully convinces everyone to save all of the High Evolutionary's victims, not just the sentient or aesthetically pleasing ones. In other words, again, just minutes after the Guardians kill a lot of the High Evolutionary's victims, they decide that all of his victims are equally worth saving, except the ones they just killed, apparently. And yes, those particular experiments were trying to kill the Guardians, but it's not like they had a choice. They were at the mercy of their creator, who tortured and manipulated them. You know what you did, that's a bummer. The Guardians of the Galaxy movies have always had an unusually high body count, but the people the Guardians killed were always either bad or so underwritten that their death is unlikely to make the audience turn on the characters or the movie. Those are creative choices that allow the audience to enjoy the mayhem without feeling terribly guilty. Even in Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 3. When Drax, Dave Bautista, says he wants to kill people, Peter Quill, Chris Pratt says no, and Drax counters by saying he'll only kill one guy who is very lonely and won't be missed. Peter rebukes him, saying that would just make killing him sadder. This film doesn't just agree that killing sympathetic characters is a way to lose your audience. It literally illustrates the point for Emmy.so. It's weirdly hypocritical to turn around at the end of the movie, sandwiched between moments of extreme empathy for the High Evolutionary experiments for James Gunn to go out of his way to craft a show-off action sequence. An extended one-shot slaughterfest with heroic music and hero shots of all the protagonists, where pretty much everyone they kill is a sympathetic victim of the film's main villain. Peter's right. That's not fun. That's just sad. And even though Gunn is usually a master at balancing contrasting tones, this time it doesn't work. It doesn't completely destroy the movie, necessarily. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. Because it's uncomfortable, and frankly, it hurts a little. The hallway fight sequence in Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 3 and those in the Marvel Netflix universe prove that these types of action scenes are one of Marvel's strongest tropes. While the basic concept is the same, the hallway fight scene allows these characters and the creatives behind them to truly show off their best selves. Daredevil slowly but methodically takes care of dozens of goons on his own in his quest to save a child. The Defenders work together for the first time and learn to move out of one another's way in real time. And perhaps best of all, Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 3's hallway fight scene is the culmination of these characters' superhero journeys together. Their fighting has never been so smooth, so well coordinated, so well executed. It's highly enjoyable yet also emotional. The Guardians have always worked well together, but it's on a whole other level here. Compare this to the first scene when they all met, as they each tried to steal the Power Stone from one another, and it's a world of difference. In Daredevil, and Netflix The Defender miniseries. The hallway fight scenes are more gritty and realistic, with the exception of Iron Fist's glowing hand, of course. The action in these sequences reflects the more grounded approach to superhero-ing that the Marvel Netflix universe was going for. The hallway fight scene in Guardians of the Galaxy Vol.